Those of you who use cookers may not know the Orthodox fireplace, that actually there are 3 stones upon which the pot rests. But if you don't know so much about that, you can consult the Honorable Fono Pondo, Member of Parliament for us, the elder, is representing Eastern Uganda. He knows these things more than anybody else. So, each stone represents an arm of government. And you see, if you are cooking on that traditional stove, and one stone is not as the others, then that stove can't be stable. And that is an analogy which the Chief Justice Emeritus, Justice Odoki, gave to explain separation of powers. Without one, then you have a problem with that stove. If one weakens, then you have a problem with that stove or fireplace. If one is bigger than the other, then you also have a problem. So the legislature, the executive, and the executive must have, first of all, you all have equal power obligations according to the Constitution, but different obligations. Let us look at the conceptual and constitutional foundation of this doctrine of separation of powers. You know, for those of you who are scholars, in the 4th century before Jesus Christ, Aristotle wrote in his treatise of the Politics that he advocates against power concentration to avoid the tyranny. He therefore proposed 3 branches. 1, that makes the law, and that is you. 2, 1 that executes the law. Where is cabinet seated? This side, and that's you. And 3, that which adjudicates disputes about the law. Once you have got disputes, conflicts, then there is another organ where you run to resolve that dispute. That's what we call the judiciary. However, Montesquieu in 1748 urged in his book, The Spirit of the Laws, that liberty is best preserved when legislative, executive, and the judicial powers are not concentrated in one body. To those of you who have studied history, powers used to be concentrated in one institution, and that was the monarch. The monarch had executive powers, the monarch would legislate, the monarch would be the judiciary. So until scholars, modern scholars, and the development of democracy reach an extent to say we cannot afford to have all these powers concentrated in one institution. That is the development of the doctrine of separation of powers and the basis of modern democracy, that you have specialized institutions of the state, each performing a different role.